Thank you for browsing page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a very common pair of common magic items at my table. Boots of Elvenkind and a Cloak of Elvenkind. Why are they so common? Well, first off, they carry a very Tolkien flavor. Boots of Elvenkind. These soft boots enable the wearer to move without sound of footfall in virtually any surroundings. Thus, the wearer can walk across a patch of dry leaves or over a normally creaky wooden floor and make only a whisper of noise. 95% chance of silence in the worst conditions, 100% in the best. So again, remembering that D&D is written for a dungeon setting primarily, you have these boots that work really well in a dungeon setting. You have a thief who's trying to move silently. Here it is, the boots themselves let him move silently. Now, I want to point out too, there is more to moving silently simply than your footfalls. You can't have things that'll jingle as you walk or anything that will scrape against the wall like metal or a scabbard scraping against a wall and causing any kind of noise like that. So I still will throw percentage dice if a thief is moving silently, but it's really, really going to have to be a bad roll for me to say, okay, you've been hurt, simply because the boots do take out a big chunk of the problem of moving silently. And then the other stuff, I'm going to assume the thief is trained enough that he's not going to clatter against something or bump into a table or anything like that. The other part of this, and I don't give them out as a pair, but I do give them out. I have had players get both at my table. The Cloak of Elvenkind. This is straight out of Tolkien. Cloak of Elvenkind is a plain neutral gray, which is indistinguishable from any sort of ordinary cloak or of the same color. However, when it's worn, with the hood drawn up around the head, it enables the wearer to be nearly invisible, for the cloak has chameleon-like powers. In the outdoors, the wearer of a Cloak of Elvenkind is almost totally invisible in natural surroundings, nearly so in other settings. Note that the wearer is easily seen if violently or hastily moving, regardless of the surroundings. The invisibility bestowed is outdoor natural setting with heavy growth 100%, light growth 99%, open field 95%. Outdoors other, rocky terrain 98%, buildings 90%. Brightly lit rooms, you still have a 50% chance of not being seen. Underground in torchlight or lantern light 95%, against infravision 90%, and light and continual light still 50%. Fully 90% of these cloaks are sized for human or elven-sized persons. The other 10% are sized for smaller persons. So that would be more for a dwarf or a halfling or something like that. These cloaks are fantastic. You can move slowly in a situation. You're virtually invisible. It doesn't. I don't rule it as invisibility, so I don't allow detect invisibility to pick up someone using a Cloak of Elvenkind. I know that might be controversial, but again, at my table, I just don't feel that this is invisibility so much as camouflage. If you've read Tolkien or seen the movie Two Towers, you see that the cloaks are camouflage as opposed to true invisibility. You can be seen, but you appear to be a clump of bushes, a rock, something like that. So I don't allow detect invisibility to reveal the wearer in that regard. I also, as a player, pioneered something at my table. I had a ring of invisibility. I've told this story before. And I had the Cloak of Elvenkind. I had an archer, and I wanted to snipe somebody. So I got up on a building high above my target, invisibly, got my arrow ready, fired my shot, and after I fired my shot, I held still. So once the person was hit and the damage was taken and such, they turn, they look for me. They can't see me easily. They have to figure out where the shot came from. They have to come up there. During that time, I simply will the ring to turn me invisible again, and then move away, or move slowly under the cloak and move away. Either way works. So there are a lot of things you can do with the Cloak of Elvenkind. And again, D&D, having been written primarily for a dungeon setting, this is fantastic if you want to sneak into that room full of orcs. This is a great item, especially when coupled with the boots of Elvenkind. This is a great opportunity to sneak in there and get away with something, or if there's a band of ogres in their lair and you need to get past them for whatever reason. It's a great way to do it. So that's all I've got to say about these two wonderful items of Elvenkind. One other quick thing. We don't give elves any particular bonus for moving silently or blending in with their surroundings other than what's given in the elf write-up. So elves do benefit from both these magic items. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I hope you liked what you heard and saw. If you did, please comment, subscribe, take a look at the Patreon. If you can help me out there, that'd be great. And that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.